Welcome to Ancient Wisdom, the first step for ordinary people to become stronger. The resident psychological counselor has a sense of God. He has conducted in-depth research and investigations on modern popular fresh lottery. During the long process of psychological counseling, he met some outstanding people. What is doubly surprising is that these people, who were originally thought to have great potential for success in going to the North Pole, later failed to make any significant achievements in their careers. Why do they obviously have outstanding and extraordinary abilities? However, they still failed to make a mark on the road of life. After conducting a large number of extensive and input investigations, Oshima Senori and Shiji analyzed the reason and found out that they were too sensitive. They often can't help but fall into deep negative emotions just because of someone else's unintentional words. Zheng Yi, the countless precious chickens of their mistakes will be very valuable to ordinary people like us. For people who want to gradually become stronger, the first step is to identify and kill the sensitive thing bravely. But it needs to be clear that to kill the sensitive self, you need to make yourself indifferent and ruthless. He is insensitive and needs to cook his own vegetarian food. He is not casual and surprisingly incomparable. He is indestructible. The writer Zhu Ling shared a personal experience in the book Cognitive Awakening. Once, because of a trivial matter, he was accused by the boss of acting Lee Piping in Special Kerber, which one he felt was sad in the North District, but he returned home. After calming down, you can lead. It is soothing and difficult to listen to. The problem is still in place, and the leadership is like this for most people. It is not intentional that the emotions of the real father and the leader are separated and treated separately by the star. The leadership accepted by the star has been changed. The problem he has at work is precisely because of this. His ability has once again been criticized, and it has improved rapidly during improvement. Collector Ma Weidu said that you are a fool in the society, and you will find a mysterious job when others criticize you. Yes, that will definitely not work. You will find that those who go far must be in the goldfish business. And for emotional people, Bai Shui, don't take it to heart. Don't worry about it. Don't remind me to throw away your shame and improve your professionalism. Ability will make your career smoother. Media person, tension circle baking layer tower, Alibaba lock telephone sales. When he first started making phone calls, he was often rejected by customers. One time, a customer directly issued an invoice on the phone and said, "Little girl, don't talk to me. You don't understand anything. Why do you want to listen to you talk about the other party's partition and then hang up the phone?" He felt special at that moment. Tears welled up in his eyes, and the whole world became a blur. But he also knew very well in his heart that there was no way to solve it. I immediately called the customer back and said sincerely, "To be honest, you are my first customer. I don't know if you can still think of a good deal or what kind of situation it was, but I laughed and I hope to come. If you are as successful as you are at your age, can you tell me your success story?" They chatted for more than 2 hours and he became his first customer. Through such growth, Li Jun finally became an organization development expert at Alibaba. Moyantai Tanxiang Action Shoes. The more successful a person is, the more grievances he suffers, the more valuable and harmonious his life will be. You can't let them go too far, and you can't let them mess up your mind. There are no naturally strong people in your life. They are just sweet and soft things. In a place where life is uneven and impermanent, you can go back to being thick-skinned and strong-willed. In fact, such people are the strong ones in life. I have read a short story before. When a young man graduated, he came to Nianian to see that his classmates were all doing well. Nothing will be accomplished if the wind and water rise and fall. I was so confused that I went to the university professor Xie He and asked him what he had done in recent years. The young man replied that I liked painting when I just graduated, but some people said that I painted thrushes, so I sold them after the holidays. The industry is booming, and some people say that if you go to college, you should sell things. I didn't do it. The professor listened to his words. So what is living in other people's mouths? How is it possible to live a wonderful life? In Thailand, where you are judged by others and it is inevitable to face external judgments, sometimes it directly determines a person's commitment. Some people are trapped in the judgments of others and cannot get out of their lives, while others don't care much about others. View and finally live out your own wonderful life. In 1970, 14-year-old Ju Mei was born at the address of charcoal noodles in a mining farm. It's rare to become a Buddhist. People around me think that he doesn't know the heights of heaven and earth. They all start talking about small things. He just wants to be a writer. Stop dreaming. His manuscripts are given out in packages, and packages are returned to Lotus. Some people start to love him. It's a joke. He yelled premium insurance from across the street without making a sound, and then he flew to face the fans around him. He didn't make any comments and continued to create unmoved. 4 years later, she succeeded in Epfaware. In 2017, with the TV series In the Name of the People, the author and screenwriter of Ruobo suddenly became a star. From an ordinary miner to a nationally renowned writer, he was born because of nothing. Care about other people's evaluations, and finally get rid of the comfort of fate often open our hearts. Wang Mong is not about those difficulties, but the voices from the outside world. There is a saying that if you are a tree, other people's attitude towards you is like the gusts of wind. If you care about other people's opinions, any gust of wind will blow you away. Shake violently. Even if you don't go after urging people, the evaluation in the outside world will rape the growth of the village host group. If you don't selectively block the parity of others because of other people's evaluation, you can keep your original intention and get better and better on the road of life. Carol Dweck, a professor of psychology at Stanford University, has two types of thinking patterns. Bacteria. One is consuming and follows the philosophy of growth. People with consuming thinking tend to have a strong mind and cannot listen to any unpleasant words at all. It also consumes real own energy. People with a growth mindset don't care too much about their so-called face, but they can do everything to promote their own growth. Those who are as fragile as a glass house are destined to be pitiful. Those who chew the bitter glass tea seeds on the ground and persevere behind the new meat in the core will eventually be able to taste the sweetness brought by growth. Chile survived tenaciously and continued door-to-door sales by parents and children in an effort to develop new customer resources. At that time, Jingzhe Machine did not have a prominent name and good Jingyu. Did it have any eye-catching school sisters as door-to-door salesmen? What is it to be ruthlessly ignored? Reject. Once, Kazuo Inamori and his employees went to visit a well-known large-scale store to increase prices, but they were kicked out mercilessly. Kazuo Inamori did not give up easily because of such a setback, and he persisted in visiting. A lot of words, at most. I finally met the relevant technical personnel, but I didn't expect that just one thing would be fine, and I would refuse the blind date without any hesitation. Without any actual well-known company, it is absolutely impossible for us. The frustrated young salesman who purchased your product at a price of 3 consecutive times became extremely frustrated when he left. Kazuo Inamori did not just choose to give up his shameless visits to your door again and again. With his tenacious perseverance and thrift, with firm determination, I finally succeeded in getting the order from that company, recalling this experience full of hardships. Kazuo Inamori said with emotion that no matter how ruthlessly he was beaten by others, he must rely on the tenacious fighting heart developed deep in his heart and his perseverance to break through the difficulties. You have endured the hardships of being disgraced. If others just give you a cold look, you can't bear it. If you give in, you won't be able to achieve anything in your life. Some people say unpleasant words to you, and some people reject you. Your sincerity, asking people to completely ignore your existence. You must learn to bear these humiliations that have been dealt with skillfully. Transform them into your own precious experience of the wisdom of life and death, and the beginning of cleansing. Put your own bride to shame. Only by relaxing and reducing some fragility and excessive sensitivity can we withstand the ups and downs of the world. Moving forward steadily, I heard an extremely rare and thought-provoking point of view. You must learn to swim in saliva. What does this mean? In fact, it is to be indifferent to others' rejection of you, to look down upon you, not to understand and not to support you, all of which are just ordinary states. Only by truly achieving the above can you truly achieve multiple identities and completely not care about the various brand life of the outside world. Isn't it always smooth sailing? Everyone has suffered setbacks and hardships, and when they were severely beaten by reality, they received that fragile glass heart step by step, made themselves stronger, gritted their teeth, looked past and imagined. Suddenly a flood of rejected brothers came in, and their indifferent eyes came as white as a piece of cake. Words from distance are like moving boulders. If you can be calm and calm, then you will truly have the power to move forward firmly in this complicated situation. Every time you are not understood, every time you are not supported, the 105-year-old new drama, The Geographer, will make your heart simpler and your steps more mature. In this long journey of life, I have the sensitivity and fragility to stand firm in the wind and rain and examine my own brilliance. Sunshine Music, I am here to wish you a happy life every day.